another 4 million doses of a vaccine designed to keep people out of the hospital and slow the spread of COVID-19 is now available. Over the weekend, longtime pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson received FDA emergency use approval for their version of a vaccine. And it's being bottled right here in Grand Rapids. The approval has brought a lot of pride to Grand River Aseptic Manufacturing, the West Side company in charge of mixing and filling that vaccine. News 8's Joe LaFurgey has this story tonight.
As one company official described it, this is one of those efforts employees will want to tell their grandkids about.
The opportunity to really save lives and be part of the solution is something that you can only dream of. The team has done amazing work, and we are incredibly proud what they've done and what we've accomplished. And ultimately, this has played a significant role in saving lives.
As we first told you last summer, Grand River Aseptic Manufacturing, GRAM as they like to be called, secured the contract for the fill-finish part of the vaccine's production, which is essentially mixing the ingredients for the vaccine and filling the vials last August. Of course, the work is a bit more complicated than it sounds.
The facility that we're in today is truly a world-class, state-of-the-art pharmaceutical facility.
More flexible because only one dose is needed, studies show the vaccine is 85% effective in preventing severe illness. In fact, none of the people taking part in the vaccine's trial ended up in the hospital or died from COVID-19. It's 66% effective in preventing symptomatic illness from the virus.
This is great news. It's great news for our country, great news for the world, and certainly great news for West Michigan.
Production in anticipation of emergency use approval began last fall. While Johnson & Johnson say about 4 million doses are ready for distribution, GRAM officials, citing security concerns, won't say how much of that was produced here.
We're providing a lot of vaccine for Johnson & Johnson.
Along with a lot of pride, the work has also created a lot of new jobs.
We've added about 125 new positions over the last 6 months, and we intend to hire another 75 new positions for the remainder of this year.
Entry level through management. The company is expanding outside of their current Southwest Grand Rapids neighborhood, building a 110,000 square foot finishing center near the airport. So far, recruitment hasn't been a problem.
People want to be part of the solution, and what we're doing here is something that they're attracted to.
Well, as for how long the vaccine will be produced here, well, much of that depends on how long it takes to get the pandemic under control. The contract with Johnson & Johnson and the federal government runs through the end of the year, and that could be extended. In Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine should be a huge help in reaching the light at the end of the tunnel of this pandemic. For a look at how the added authorization impacts our vaccine rollout, here's News 8's Lindsay McComal.
Brian, the good news here is the estimated rollout timeline in Michigan that we've shared from MDHHS puts eligibility for the general population group in August or September. It actually only includes supply for Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. So we should see our pace quicken now that we have a third one on the market. More good news, Michigan's slated to get its largest shipments yet in this rollout this week. Here's a look at that breakdown from the state. Total, we should see nearly 500,000 doses come to Michigan this week. Local officials are saying that all three options are doing the job of cutting down on hospitalizations and deaths. So sign up to get vaccinated now.
By being the third vaccine, it gives us just another weapon to combat this terrible virus infection. But the longer we wait to get the vaccine, the more the mutations are out there, the more they're going to spread, and the more difficult it will be to get out of this pandemic, back to normal life, and get our masks off.
Dr. Grifka also mentioned more convenient clinics like drive-through options will be easier to plan for providers given the J&J shot is a single dose and can be stored in a regular refrigerator. Brian.
Lindsay, thank you. Here are the latest COVID numbers tonight. Another 1,500 cases of coronavirus were confirmed over the weekend in our state, along with 12 more deaths. The rate of positive tests is more than 4.3%.